Ma'am, you've been drinking today. Your eyes are glassy, you're sweating. It smells like something's off here.
No, I'm a vet. It's a flashback. Don't tase me, I'm having a flashback.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Look at me. How much have you had?
It's PTSD. I'm not a threat.
Ma'am, slurring your words and acting erratic doesn't help. I'm not buying the excuse. Step over here and put your hands behind your back.
What you just heard is the sound of a hero's heart shattering in real time. In less than 45 seconds, a decorated veteran who spent 12 years defending this nation was treated like a dangerous criminal by the very system she swore to protect. Her name is Sergeant Maria Elena Rodriguez, 44 years old, mother of 2 beautiful children. A woman who carried the weight of war on her shoulders for over a decade, only to be broken in the middle of a quiet afternoon traffic stop. This is not just another Bodycam video. This is a story about invisible wounds that no uniform can hide. This is a story about a rookie officer's arrogance meeting a veteran's trauma, and how that single moment of ignorance is now costing an entire police department millions of dollars and their reputation. Today, I'm going to walk you through the entire heartbreaking sequence, second by agonizing second. You will feel her fear. You will hear her desperate pleas falling on deaf ears. And by the end, you will understand why this one video has sparked outrage across the country and forced real change. Let's go back to March 15, 2026. It was a sunny Thursday afternoon. 2:32 p.m. Sergeant Maria Rodriguez was driving home from her weekly therapy session at the local VA hospital, the same appointment she had kept faithfully for years to keep the nightmares at bay. She had served 2 combat tours in Afghanistan. She had seen friends die in explosions that still echoed in her mind every single day. But she was trying. She was fighting to rebuild a normal life for herself and her kids. All she wanted was to get home, hug her children, and make dinner like any other mother. But one small thing stood in her way, a burned-out taillight on her old reliable SUV. That was it. Nothing more. A minor equipment violation that should have ended with a simple warning. The moment those flashing red and blue lights filled her rearview mirror, something inside Maria shattered. Her breathing quickened. Her hands began to tremble on the steering wheel. Her vision blurred as the memories flooded back, the deafening blast of an IED, the smell of burning fuel, the cries of her fallen brothers and sisters in arms. For Maria, those lights weren't just police lights. They were a trigger. A war zone reborn in the middle of a suburban street. She knew what was happening. She had trained herself to recognize the signs. And the second the officer stepped out of his patrol car, Maria tried, with every ounce of strength she had left, to explain. But the man walking toward her wasn't listening. Officer Kyle Bennett, 26 years old, only 11 months on the force, approached with the confidence of someone who had never seen real trauma up close. He saw a sweating, trembling woman and immediately assumed the worst: drugs, alcohol, danger. He didn't see a veteran. He didn't see a mother. He didn't see a hero. He saw a threat. Watch closely as Maria stands there, upright but clearly unraveling. Her eyes are wide with terror and confusion. Sweat pours down her face. Her chest heaves with rapid, desperate breaths. One hand clutches the side of her head as if trying to hold the memories back. She is not aggressive. She is not violent. She is fighting an invisible war inside her own mind, and she is losing. Yet Officer Bennett moves in with his taser already drawn, voice cold and commanding. You can hear the exact words that broke her spirit. "Ma'am, you've been drinking today." Maria's voice cracks as she fights through the panic. "No, I'm a vet. It's a flashback. Don't chase me. I'm having a flashback." But he doesn't believe her. He never even pauses to consider that she might be telling the truth. "Yeah, that's what they all say. Look at me. How much have you had?" Tears are now mixing with the sweat on her face. Her voice rises in pure desperation. "It's PTSD. I'm not a threat." Still, he escalates. He steps closer. He demands she turn around. He treats her medical emergency like a crime scene. And when she instinctively flinches, not to attack, but because her body is in full survival mode from the flashback, he makes the decision that will change both their lives forever. He grabs her arm. He slams the handcuffs on. And when she instinctively pulls away in terror, he deploys his taser. The crackle of electricity fills the air as a decorated veteran is brought to the ground in the middle of the street, all because one rookie refused to listen. At the station, things only grew more heartbreaking. Maria was processed like any other suspect: fingerprints, mugshots, the whole humiliating routine, while she was still deep in the grips of her PTSD episode. It wasn't until a concerned jail nurse finally demanded medical attention that the truth came out. The ER doctor took one look at her records and confirmed what Maria had been screaming from the very beginning. This was a severe, documented PTSD flashback. No alcohol, no drugs. Just a trauma response triggered by the very lights and sirens that are supposed to signal safety. Imagine that for a moment. A woman who risked her life for this country, who came home carrying wounds no one can see, was treated like a criminal instead of a patient. Her children had to watch the news coverage of their mother being led away in handcuffs. Her family was left wondering if she would ever be the same again. The humiliation, the fear, the betrayal, it cut deeper than any battlefield injury ever could. And at first, the department tried to cover it up. Their initial report claimed Maria had been combative and non-compliant. They defended Officer Bennett's actions as within policy. They tried to paint a hero as the villain. But the bodycam footage didn't lie. The medical records didn't lie. And Maria's family refused to stay silent. With the help of a determined civil rights attorney, they filed a powerful federal lawsuit against the city, the police department, and Officer Bennett himself. They charged violations of the Americans with Disabilities Act, excessive force, false arrest, wrongful imprisonment, and failure to provide reasonable accommodations for a known disability. The evidence was overwhelming. Expert witnesses, some of the top PTSD specialists in the country, testified that Officer Bennett's actions showed a complete lack of training and basic human empathy. The bodycam captured every devastating second. After 14 long, painful months of legal battle, the department finally broke. In a quiet but historic settlement, the city agreed to pay Sergeant Maria Elena Rodriguez $3,800,000. $3.8 million. Officer Kyle Bennett was immediately terminated from the force. The department has been ordered to implement mandatory PTSD recognition training for every single officer on duty. New protocols for handling veterans and mental health crises are being written because of what happened to Maria that day. But no amount of money can ever restore what was taken from her. The flashbacks have grown worse since that afternoon. The trust she once had in those who wear the badge is gone. Her children still have nightmares about seeing their mother on the ground. The emotional scars run so deep that some days Maria says she feels like she's still fighting the war, only now the battlefield is inside her own home. Yet, in the middle of all that pain, something powerful happened. Justice was served. The department is paying the price, not just in dollars, but in accountability. Because of Maria's courage, future veterans may be spared the same nightmare. Because one woman refused to stay silent, an entire police force is being forced to change. That is the power of bodycam footage. That is the power of truth. Sergeant Maria Elena Rodriguez served this country with honor, with bravery, and with a heart that never quit. She came home carrying wounds that most of us will never understand. And on that ordinary March afternoon, she was failed by the very system that should have protected her. But today, the world knows her name. Today, her story is being heard. And today, justice, real, hard-fought justice, has finally been served. If you or someone you love is a veteran struggling with PTSD, please know you are not alone. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Just dial 988 and press 1. There is help. There is hope. And there are people who will listen. Thank you for watching this emotional story all the way to the end. If it moved you, if it made you angry, if it opened your eyes, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and share it with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we bring you these raw, unfiltered bodycam justice stories every single week. Next video drops Friday, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. We'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there, and remember, when someone says they're having a flashback, listen.